Good morning. My name is Susan Probst, and I'm here this morning with Susan Kuranoff, Vice President of the Global DARE Foundation, and also the Global Lead Study at Novartis Pharma in Switzerland. How did your diagnosis come about, and how old were you?
So I was diagnosed with Refsum at the age of 32, which is already 30 years ago, after a relatively short but frustrating journey. Initially, my Refsum symptoms like vision problems and loss of smell were misdiagnosed because they were being looked at as isolated issues rather than being part of a bigger picture. So it wasn't until I joined the National Retina Organization for people with retinitis pigmentosa that changed. The group's president recognized that my symptoms could potentially be linked to Refsum disease, and she suggested that I get my phytanic acid levels tested. The results came back elevated, which led to genetic testing, and that confirmed my diagnosis. I have to say that it was overwhelming to learn that I had a rare, incurable condition, but I was relieved to finally have a correct diagnosis. The more so, I was grateful to discover that through dietary management, I would be able to influence the course of my disease, giving me a sense of control in an otherwise uncertain situation.
I understand you have a sibling with Refsum as well. When was your sibling diagnosed?
That's right. I have a younger brother who was diagnosed some months after me, all because our awareness that Refsum disease is a genetic condition. So I have two siblings, both of which underwent testing for phytanic acid, and then one had gene testing and was positive for Refsum disease. Given the recessive inheritance pattern of Refsum, each child of carrier parents has a 25% chance of being impacted. So it wasn't entirely surprising in our family that 2 out of 3 siblings were actually impacted. In fact, if I hadn't been diagnosed first, my brother might not have received his diagnosis until much later, as he wasn't showing symptoms at the time. And as we know, the benefits of early diagnosis, this can allow someone to start the low phytanic acid diet right away, helping to slow disease progression. So this was a small but positive victory for our family at the time. Absolutely.
How do you think that Refsum has affected your whole family?
I think living with Refsum disease has been challenging, not only for me, but the entire family. There's the emotional toll, especially as parents, of seeing your children struggle with the challenges that the disease brings, like declining vision and having to limit food choices to help slow disease progression. Additionally, unfortunately, both of my parents struggled with overwhelming guilt about passing the disease to us, despite our reassurance that we never held them responsible. Both my brother and I felt that these were the cards that were dealt to us, and it was our responsibility, to get on with things. It's brought my brother and I closer in some ways because we share a common condition that we can both relate to in terms of what it means to have a rare disease and how it impacts us daily. And as you alluded to, my brother is particularly grateful and proud of the work that I've done with the Global DARE Foundation, knowing that it directly benefits him as well. But I have to say it's also been difficult, especially when it comes to the uncertainty of the disease progression and how it could affect our future. My current partner and I have had to make numerous adjustments in our lives, mainly related to cooking. My partner does the cooking in the family, and he's had to modify his ways of cooking and adapt and find substitute food items. But he's come to become very good at cooking, and when he cooks for the both of us, so we both eat Refsum compliant meals.
Oh, wonderful.
I think that also dealing with a rare disease together has been challenging for us within a relationship, but it's also strengthened us as a team.
Oh, do you have any practices that help you keep a positive mental attitude?
Maintaining a positive attitude all the time is tough. Some days are better than others, especially in the face of disease progression. But I have found that focusing on what I can do rather than what I can't do is really important to me. So I try to practice mindfulness and affirmations, which help me stay grounded. I try to stay focused on the positives in life and take joy in small things like beautiful sunsets or a walk along the Rhine in Basel. I also have a strong faith in the universe. I tend to believe that everything will be okay and that I will have the strength to cope with whatever comes my way. Also, staying connected with my support network is very helpful, whether it's friends, family, or others in the rare disease community, plays a big role in keeping up my spirits.
In what ways do you think the Global DARE Foundation has been able to help others?
In the first instance, I think it hasn't only helped others, but it's also helped me. It's been, a vital source of support for me as well as many others. As a co-founder, I've seen, firsthand how much we've grown and the impact that we've had. We've worked hard to raise awareness for the condition. We've been able to fund research. We have expanded our understanding of the diet, and we provide resources for those that are impacted. And I think one of the huge benefits of the foundation has been the fact that we've created a sense of community. It's connected people on a global scale who might otherwise, have remained isolated and been alone in their journey. Also, I think it's very empowering to know, working with the Medical and Scientific Advisory Board, I see that we're making strides towards better treatment and hopefully one day a cure.